Welcome to the second episode of Culture Shocks or Rocks, the show where we look at cultures that shock or cultures that really rock. My name is Duduzan Aba and I've been living in Germany for the past 6 months or 7. And today we're going to be talking about my top 10 biggest culture shocks in Germany. Without wasting any time, let's get into it. Number 1. Naked people. Yes. In Germany, there's a lot of lakes, there's a lot of rivers. And almost in every lake or every people go there to swim. And there's always an area of naked people. Always. In fact, it's like a group of naked people. It's called FKK. FKK stands for Freie Körperkultur, which means free body culture. And I actually got the pleasure to join them one time and chill at the beach naked and go into the water butt naked. And I must tell you, I've never been more free than that moment. If you ever come to Germany, I think that's the most German thing you can do. But be warned, it's mostly a lot of old men and women doing that, but it's still cool anyway. Number 2, dogs. Dogs in Germany are very different from dogs in South Africa. In South Africa, dogs are more like protectors. In Germany, dogs are friends. People walk with dogs everywhere. Even in the restaurant, you get into a restaurant with your dog, it sits down right there. It doesn't bother you, doesn't bother anybody. It doesn't run after cats, it doesn't bark at people, doesn't do any of these crazy things. In South Africa, when someone is walking with a dog, or if the dog is walking alone in the street, and you see it, hey man, you're gonna change the direction, man. You have no choice but to change the direction. That's just how it is. That's South African dogs. We know them like that. Number 3, there's this question that people always ask me, which is, hey Duduzani, what is your population in your town back in South Africa? And I'm always like, hey bruh, how am I supposed to know how many people live in my town? Like, I don't go around asking or doing research about it, or they don't write it down in the newspaper. Like, how am I supposed to know that? But turns out it's a thing here in Germany. People know how many people live in their town. So they're always asking me that question, and I never know how many people live in my town. So yeah, that's always shocking. And then number 4 is parking. Parking in Germany is expensive, and you park almost everywhere you go. Day parking can be between 7 and 6 euros in Germany. In South Africa, it can be between 7 and 6 rand. And the exchange rate between Germany and South Africa, 1 euro is 20 rand. So that means that in South Africa, I'm supposed to be paying 120 rand for parking in one day, when I pay 6 euros here in Germany. And for me, that's a lot, man. I never need to use a note to pay for parking in South Africa. But here, you need to get to the note level, because usually I pay with coins, because it's not a lot of money. And then number 5 is follow the rules. People in Germany follow the rules. Like, there's no country that abides by the law like Germans. Hey man, 12 o'clock in the night, you get to the robot, it's red. That old woman will stand there. She will stand with her car until the robot is red. Even that young person, someone 23 years old, they will stand there until the robot is green. Only then will they pass. Not in South Africa, my guy. You'll be like, why should I stand in the robot at 12 if there's no cars? Like, who am I waiting for? Like, what's the point? Man, if there's a sign in Germany that says, do not pick the flowers, people do not pick the flowers. In South Africa, if it says, do not pick the flowers, it's more like they say, please pick the flowers, and they will take 10 flowers. I think just because there's a sign that says don't do it. That's just how it is there. And then number 6 is cash and coins in Germany. It's funny because Germany is a first world country with the strongest economy in Europe. but my wallet is this big. You would think I've got a lot of money. It's just full of 5 cents, 20 cents, 10 cents, and I haven't seen 1 cent in more than, I don't know, man, more than 15 years. But when I came to Germany, I started seeing 1 cent every single day in my wallet. And I hate that, I really do, but that's just how it is. They work with cents here, big time. Number 7, petrol stations. Petrol stations, first of all, close when it's at night. Like, they're not 24/7. In South Africa, even if a town is extremely small, the petrol station is always open, always open. Here it closes. And then on top of that, when you get to the petrol station, you need to get out of the car yourself. There's no guy that comes to you and says, "Hey, Tabla, pinkies, yeah, pinkies black." There's nothing like that. There's no one that comes and asks you how much money you're gonna pay or how much petrol you're gonna pour in. So you need to do everything yourself. Yeah, that's something. And then number 8, it's funny because Germany is a country that is full of rain, full of cloudy weathers, and that is full of snow. But I got a sunburn here, man. A freaking sunburn. I got a sunburn on my shoulders. I don't even get a sunburn in South Africa. I only get a sunburn in South Africa when I go to Durban. There's a city called Durban and it's extremely hot. I got a sunburn in Germany. I was shocked. That was like a complete culture shock. That, man, I never thought this place can be this hot, man. Yeah, it is because of culture, climate change, but yeah, it's super hot. And then there's also this thing, this is number 9, where guys like to knock on the table when they're chilling with friends. They get to hang out with friends, they knock on the table, look, like, "Hey, what's up, gents? How you doing?" Like, bro, you knock, like when they want to make an announcement, when they're leaving. I'm like, what is that? It's kind of cool, it's kind of different, it's kind of weird, but yeah, it's just interesting. And then number 10, the last one, transportation. Transportation here is absolutely phenomenal. You cannot lie to your friend, unfortunately, and say to your friend, "Yo, man, I couldn't come because I missed the bus." If you miss the bus, there's still your bicycle. You can still walk. You can still use a car. You can take a ferry. You can take a train, a normal train. You can take a S-Bahn, which is a train in the street. You can take a U-Bahn, which is a train that's underground. There's just so many forms of transport. You can take a cab. Bro, like, transport here is crazy. And then I'm going to give you guys bonus number 11. And that's the absolute last one. And that is Germans never litter and always recycle. From myself, Duduzane Mqaba, thank you very much. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it very much. Do the right thing. Subscribe. Don't just watch. Peace out.